I am here with the Coxes of the A final boats. We have USA, we have Italy. We're about to get going. Tell me, are you still friends at this stage?
Oh, not right now.
At least you're still smiling. So you didn't give much away earlier. Is it still the same?
I can say.
He is being very secretive with his information. He does not want to give anything away. Are you taking a different approach this time? Is it the same tactics? What? It's the A final. There's a gold medal on the table.
No comment.
Everyone is being very secretive here, but everyone is in great spirits here ahead of the A final. Gold medal, silver medal. Who's going to get it? USA or Italy?
Ragazzi, ragazzi.
So great to see the crowd building up here, but what's it like, Aubrey? You've raced out there on this course. This is a pretty cool finish funnel as far as the crowd setup, having them right there in grandstands goes.
The infrastructure and grandstands this year have been really impressive. It feels like Beach Sprint, they finally figured it out. Having been to the last 4 editions, you can see the progress, the evolution of it. First year, really not too much, just the arch, and then the tents. The next year in Portugal, they did an exceptional job, or sorry, 2 years later, after COVID. And then in Saundersfoot, they had the challenge of that massive, massive tide to deal with, so the infrastructure couldn't actually be like that at the beach itself. So this year, they've had this up for over a week. We arrived last Saturday evening, and everything was basically in place, ready to go.
And it's so cool. I mean, what's the atmosphere like for you as an athlete when it comes to racing down or racing back up with the grandstand there and all of the music going? It must make it feel quite motivating and energizing.
It's extremely energizing. It's quite different than training. It's quite different than any other experience for racing. Traditional coastal, you don't get this unless we have the finish line at the beach. But you're way out in the middle of nowhere. Here you've got it. You can hear the music. You can hear the crowd at the turn sometimes if it's not so windy. It's pretty impressive to be a part of it.
So cool. Right, lining up then, we've got the USA on the right, Italy on the left. It'll be the same sprinters, the same finishers. USA, we've got Chris Back, Jenny Sawley, Alexa McAuliffe, Corey Rogers and Coral Caston. And then for Italy, Maria Elena Zerboni, Gustavo Ferrio, Lorenzo Gaioni, Samantha Premel, and Filippo Wiesenfeld. The 2 coxswains do the first leg of the sprint, the bowmen or women do the second leg. There we go, sprint on. Wiesenfeld going down for Italy, but keeping up with him, we've got the coxswain for USA, Coral Caston. Let's see how they get off the first couple of strokes. Messy start for the USA.
So I don't know if we got a good video on that, but you can see they're actually moving the boats before the Coxies get to it. So they've got to make a leap of faith getting in there before the boat gets away without them.
It's so important that, isn't it? If they miss and fall out of the boat, they're going to get left behind, and there's almost no stopping them. That's a race over.
Exactly.
Mistake.
Well, the Italians just smashed into the buoy, but they went right through it. So we're going to see what happens into this first leg.
Look at this. They're absolutely level, these 2 boats, although the Italians bouncing over quite a lot. That's going to take the edge off their speed slightly. You can see on the speed counter there, the USA now pulling out in front. Although it's the USA's turn to get bounced around a little bit.
Yeah, they seem to be going quite up and down. In the quad event, you really get a spectacle of this as the viewer. You don't really see it as much in the solo, but these boats go quite high. The bow person, it's a different boat you're in than the stern.
Yeah, it's so tough. I mean, it just shows it's 2 sea conditions they're fighting with. On the way out, it's one set of conditions, but on the way in, it's a very different set of conditions then, isn't it? Because they're just fighting against the wave and they're not. So this slightly slower turn for the Italians could cost them here. I just don't see them making that spin as quickly as some of the other boats have been. And you can see the Americans already 1 or 2 strokes into the return leg before the Italians have completed the turn.
Yeah, the Americans seem to have done that handbrake turn quite well. And they got their course really straight here. Earlier in the day, we were seeing boats really shift from the left lane to the right with the crosswind. It seems to have straightened out a bit for this event.
What a great start, though, what a great race so far for the USA. I mean, Chris Back, he's the world champion from last year in the solo. And then, of course, we've got Jenny Sawley and Corey Rogers, returning bronze medalists from last year. Looks like they're going to turn the color of their medal gold compared to last year, as long as they don't upset this exit.
It looks like they will get it, and just knowing Chris from racing him as well, it looks like they've got it in hand. He just has to make a clean landing. He's just thinking about not screwing up. They're going to be going for time as well. He's sprinting right to the finish line.
What a result, and he's so fast as well. In great style, Chris Back takes the win, the gold medal for the USA. Silver still goes to Italy as we see Maria Elena Zerboni complete that race. So both of these crews going home with metalware, the USA taking the gold. Cracking finish that. Did you notice that the USA boat did ride a wave in on the last bit? We've seen them so often bogged down, but in that finish, it seemed to actually work in their favor.
It did, and it's really more of a luck when you catch that wave, but the skill comes in the ability to harness it and actually ride it in once you're able to catch it. So they lucked out with that, but they had the lead well in hand by that time, so it was icing on the cake for them riding in like that. Chris had a really good dismount and just strode up the beach in his own style.